How much is enough? Sounds simple, right? But try answering it. You'll notice the number keeps changing. When you were younger, maybe enough was your first paycheck. Then it was a car, then an apartment. Later, maybe a house. The target never stops moving. Here's the trap. Every time we hit one goal, our brain instantly sets another. And the finish line, it never actually exists. Seneca said it 2,000 years ago. It's not the man who has too little, but the one who always wants more, who is poor. Think about that. You could have millions in the bank and still wake up feeling broke. Because the real poverty isn't outside, it's inside. It's that voice that whispers, "Not enough yet." Now here's the paradox with money. It's supposed to buy freedom, but half the time it buys new chains. The promotion doubles your income, but also doubles your stress. The bigger house looks amazing, but suddenly you're drowning in bills. The nicer car, sure, but now you're scared to scratch it. Money opens doors, but sometimes it locks you in. I'm not saying money doesn't matter. Of course it does. We need it to eat, to live, to feel safe. But after that, the link between money and happiness gets weaker. And yet, we keep chasing. Why? Because we confuse more with better. We measure our worth in things that can be counted. Dollars, likes, titles. But no matter how much you count, someone else will always have more. And if that's your scoreboard, you'll never win. So let's flip the question. Instead of asking, how much is enough? Ask, enough for what? Enough to pay the bills, enough to feel safe, enough to actually enjoy your life without working yourself into the ground. When you frame it that way, you start to see the game differently. There's a story about a fisherman. A businessman tells him to catch more fish, buy a bigger boat, make more money, and one day retire rich. Then, finally, he could rest and enjoy life. The fisherman smiles and says, "But that's exactly what I'm doing now." That story stings a little, doesn't it? Because it shows how often we push happiness into the future, instead of noticing it right where we are. So, how much is enough? Enough is the point where gratitude gets louder than comparison. Enough is when you stop asking, "What's next?" every time you win. Enough is when you realize that wealth isn't how much you stack up, it's how little you actually need. The world screams, "More," but maybe wisdom whispers, "Enough." And maybe the moment you decide that is the moment you finally feel rich.